What's up, guys? Derek, source of photo Porto. Back for another quick one. If you haven't subscribed, please do, guys. I would highly, up to the utmost appreciate you subscribing, following, liking, dropping a thumb, whatever, dropping a like and posting a comment. I don't even know what I'm saying, all of that good stuff. Today, we're talking about the Canon Eos RP. I've owned it for a year now. I could honestly say I love this camera. And if you don't, I'm wondering, have you ever tried it, or you're just going off of all of the reviews and what people say? Because listen, I follow a lot of those big YouTubers and I love them. And I love the info, and the quality of their videos is insane. And obviously, yes, if I had the money too, I would up it. I wouldn't be using an RP as much as I do. I have the Canon Eos R. I just use the RP because it's lighter and I could bring it around with me. And it's just, it's like that everyday camera. So when people are saying that the RP is a joke, or the specs are this and the specs are that, honestly, every camera is a great camera, and the Canon EOS RP is a little tiny beast of a camera, okay? I've been using it for, I would say 90% of my YouTube videos now have been filmed with the RP because it is lightweight and I bring it with me a little bit more often, like I said, and it just does everything that I need in the camera right here. It's great, it's good to go. If you have some good lighting, you've got a lapel mic, you're ready to go with some great quality videos. Now, I've used the RP as a second camera at a wedding. So usually I got a double strap. Sounds bad. I got the harness, the double harness, and I keep my Canon EOS R. I keep that one with my 2470, and I keep the RP with a 7200. And I got that both focal length. Seems like I get everything covered. I basically use three lenses on a wedding. The 50mm would be the other lens that I use quite often for detail shots, catching certain things, shoes, blah, 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 watches, all of those other shots. When I'm doing the bride by herself and the groom by herself, sometimes I'll be using the 50mm a little bit more. A lot of times it's inside, so I get a little bit more light. The EOS RP handles that great. And what I do is I use the RP a little bit more when I'm doing the ceremony as that second camera. The only negative things I could say about it is those small batteries. They're not, the nicest, but you grab yourself a shitload of them for really cheap and you're good to go. Okay, I didn't have no problem with that. Just change the battery out, keep always one in your pocket or two in your pocket, and you switch them out when one dies, and everything is fine. The only other thing that bothered me is in low light, I find that it takes a little bit longer to grab focus, and when people are dancing and stuff like that and it's low light, it's a little bit tough. The R has no problem with that whatsoever, but that's okay, because once I'm at that point in the wedding or that point of the day, I'm using mostly one camera at this point. I'm using the R with a 2470 so I can move around, or I slap on the 50mm at a certain point. The RP is that camera that I use with me during the day outdoors. It's a great camera, so I got a second camera at different angles, and I use it during the cocktail quite a bit too, both of them, so that I could switch, catch somebody that I see in the distance and stuff like that. So the RP is a great camera, okay? And when you're editing, it's very, very, very similar in quality. The dynamic range may be a little bit weaker, but you take those pictures in consideration, okay? And you fix it after, you know what I mean? So, if you blow out the sky, well then, take that picture a couple of stops down, and then you have more to work with later on where you could fix it up, and when you're editing, and bring back the color where you need it. And it's a great tool. You just got to know what you're doing, okay? So the problem is not the cameras nowadays. The problem is the person behind the camera. If you're not setting your settings right, then you're not going to be getting the shots, regardless to what camera you're using. So for those of you who shit all over the RP, you are very, very wrong. After a year, I can seriously say that this is a great camera, and I love it a lot. You can do whatever you need with it. You can film with it, you can take pictures with it, and you can do the whole thing. The only other, I do have one other negative thing. It's not insane. We know this going in. It's not something that you're going to take to use for sports or burst mode at a wedding when you have her spin around in a dress, okay? It's really slow compared to other cameras. It's, let's give you a speed. It's like a shtick, where other cameras are like, besides that, still great. I mean, can you get a Canon EOS RP for a low price? Yes, you can. Can you make money with an EOS RP is the important question. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I've seen people doing contracts with way less than a Canon EOS RP. Okay, I've seen Canon TI1s and 2s and 3s. Oh yes, I have. I've seen a lot of it. And you know what? They still manage to do great jobs because they know what they're doing with the camera. So don't go out and spend $10,000 on a camera because you think it's gonna make you a great photographer. So Canon Eos RP, after a year of owning it, dude, it's a great camera. Stop sleeping on that shit, man. All right, peace out. Boom.